Long-tail bats and longfin eels might not be top of mind for the many thousands of visitors and vendors attending the annual National Field Days at Mystery Creek. However, helping to protect these endangered creatures from predators is very much to the forefront of the sustainability and education approaches for the New Zealand National Field Days Society. Chief Executive Peter Nation explains.
So as an organisation, some 10 years ago we started on the sustainability journey, and that was around waste management and clean water. And then when Predator Free came along as a new initiative, I think as a result of the green budget that the government put out a few years ago, we could see the opportunity to enter into that program, primarily because we've got a really big site of 114 hectares bordering the Waikato River and some very large gullies and trees. And we had the opportunity to start that predator-free program within the community and move from there. Our organisation's very well respected both within the region but also across New Zealand, and got a lot of focus as a charity on putting investment back into the community, a big focus on education. So a program like Predator Free 2050 really fitted well with some of our aspirations in that area. COVID-19 really dealt us a severe blow. We were faced to cancel our first event in 52 years and pivot really quickly to Field Days Online. We're really well focused on delivering the Field Days 2021, both in a physical event but also in a virtual event. That's really important to us to deliver that substantial, important event for rural New Zealand and urban New Zealand, bringing all those people together for community wellbeing and education. We're also focused with delivering on our sustainability goals, and Predator Free being one of them. We're surrounded on our western border by the Waikato Regional Airport. That's surrounded by big commercial developments, and then we've got a lot of lifestylers and neighbours, both on the western side of the Waikato River but also on the eastern. So we've involved all those people in this program and given them the opportunity to be part of it. And I think what's really cool for us is not only the neighbours have stepped up and said, actually, we want to be part of this, but a big number of corporates around both the airport and the airport itself and the people around the airport want to be part of it as well. And I think a lot of corporates and businesses now see the value in doing things for the community and being focused on sustainability.
Initially, when it was first set up, it was just the people here at Predator Free Mystery Creek and the volunteers, but now we're moving into phase 2 and we're getting the whole community involved, the neighbours of Mystery Creek. Nationwide, the predators, the mammalian predators, all the introduced ones, the rats, the stoats, the ferrets, the weasels, the cats, they're all decimating the population of all native species. So not just the birds, we're talking the reptiles, the insects, everything. We do have a few native birds here already. One of the excitement things that we do have here is the long-tailed bat or the peka peka. They are certainly in this area, but it's about all the native animals that we want to protect. With the start of Predator Free Mystery Creek, there was a group of volunteers. We have 4 amazing volunteers that check all the traps. There's 75 traps here now, but there's going to be more.
So, we've got a possum there, look.
We use a variety of different traps. They're all humane kill traps, so we're making sure that we're using the right sort of traps. We're really targeting possums, rats and stoats are the main ones.
So Susan, you'll take the app, take the count?
Yeah.
Just more female.
We use the trap.nz app to record all our catches, and it's great because it's on your phone. We can access where all the traps are. They're all GPS located, so if you're not quite sure, if you remember where one trap is, you can use that. And then you just can click on each of the traps individually, and if you do catch something, like you caught a rat that day, you can add that you caught the rat, maybe what bait was used last time, that sort of thing, any details. You can take photos of your catch if you're particularly excited about it. So it's a really good tool, and that restores all the information, and we can pull out a whole lot of records from that. The top 3 predators in New Zealand are the rats, possums and stoats. We've got the ship rat here. This is the smaller of the 2 species of rats that I'm talking about. These are ones that climb into the trees, eat the eggs, chicks and sometimes even adult birds of our native animals. Then we've got the much larger Norway rat here. They can get quite large. This is quite a small Norway rat. These guys are really good at swimming. So often found near waterways, rivers, that sort of thing. And they're also the ones that are digging into your compost bin. Stoats are the #1 worst predator in New Zealand, and they're part of the mustarded family. There's also the much larger ferret and the smaller weasel. They climb, they swim, they're very good visual hunters, and they also hunt by scent. And they often kill things just for the sake of it. So they'll come across a whole nest and they'll eat all the, so they'll kill all the chicks, but not necessarily eat them all. So if you have a look here, you can see how sharp these little teeth are. They're just killing machine stoats. Sharp teeth, and although they sort of look small, they're just really ferocious. These guys will take on prey much larger than themselves. If you've ever seen one take down like a big hare, they will take down big hare. And obviously these guys are a real problem for kiwi and even takahe, things like that, much larger species. So it's not just the smaller birds that we're talking about, these guys will take on much larger prey. Because we've caught the stoat, to attract more stoats in, what we're going to do is actually going to rub its back end all around the front of the trap. Stoats are a little bit unusual in that when they are in the nest, when they're still young, they are mated by their father, but the pregnancy is delayed until the females are old enough to reproduce. So they can actually be pregnant, ready to go, once they've left the nest, which is a little bit scary. So this is why on things like offshore islands that are predator-free, if a female stoat by herself swam out there, she could actually populate the whole island. So that's a really scary fact about stoats. A lot of people don't realise that hedgehogs are a predator because they are cute. Beatrix Potter did us no favours there, but they are a real predator and they do eat things like small eggs. We have lots of birds like the black stilt, for instance, that nest alongside the river. So hedgehogs are a main predator for them. They also will eat things like lizards, whetters, lots of native insects and snails and things as well. So they are a real problem in New Zealand, but people just don't realise they are.